hospital in Alabama. The University of Alabama at Birmingham Hospital is putting in vitro fertilization treatments on hold over concerns that patients and physicians could be prosecuted.
This following the Alabama Supreme Court allowing 2 wrongful death lawsuits against a fertility clinic with patients alleging their embryos were mistakenly destroyed. Justices ruling an 1872 state law allowing parents to sue over the death of a child applies to unborn children and embryos.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. 2 missiles suspected of being fired by Iran-backed Houthi rebels hit a British-owned cargo ship.
Say the attack caused a fire on board and coalition military forces are on their way to help. The vessel is in the Gulf of Aden, around 70 miles off Yemen.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
7.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
Okay, well, right now. So happy it's Thursday. Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
I'm Kelly Knapp.
And I'm Lee Barrows.
And welcome to the Thursday edition of Live and Local Real Talk. We do appreciate y'all being here. You, as you know, you can watch us on YouTube and on Facebook and our channels there. And also listen to us at WSME971.com worldwide. You got the internet, you can listen to us.
Simple Radio at 1120 a.m. WSME.
There you go. And it's we kind of get around and we kind of track some of the people who are watching, or at least I do. And I know a lot of y'all from all over the country.
Yes.
And every now and then I'll find some people all over the world, and especially post something that's really interesting on Facebook. Particularly opinions, because that's what we're about.
That's right.
We're not a news organization. I'm going to explain that to those of you one more time. We don't do news. We follow the news just like you do, and we comment about it just like you do. But we comment about it, on all the outlets that we have. So it's interesting. Politics is leading the stories these days. We've got politics to the left of us, politics to the right of us. We don't even know how many politics we got going around. So we have our opinions. You got yours. That's okay. We look at some of the news sources, and no, we don't look at just conservative news sources. We don't look at liberal news sources only. I look at all of them. I just want to know what people are thinking. And I check out the polls that are out there, and there are polls to the left of us and polls to the right of us. And some of those polls are just like as bad as predetermined. It depends upon how you ask the questions and what questions that you ask.
Right.
Have you stopped beating your wife?
Right.
You can ask a question like that of somebody. Have you stopped beating your wife? Regardless of how you answer that, you admit that you have been beating your wife.
Okay.
No, I have not stopped beating her. Well, then you're still beating her. Yes, I've stopped beating her. Well, then at one time you were beating her.
Oh, geez.
Think about it.
Are we doing a parody on news stories?
Yes,
Is that what we're doing? Yes.
Well, we can do that. The whole point is the polls are how you phrase the questions.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I get them from the NRA. I get them from, what's that old folks organization, the AAA thing?
AARP.
AARP.
Mm-hmm.
I get them from everybody. I'm not even a member of AARP,
Right.
but I guess my wife is. So I got a card. But I get these polls from everybody. ABC, CBS, NBC, and of course Fox News and CNN. They're all doing their own polls. And again, polls, the outcome of whatever happens in a poll, the results of a poll, nothing but how you phrase the questions and who you ask the questions of. All the Fox News viewers, well, what do you think they're going to be doing?
Exactly.
All the CNN people, what do you think that poll's going to show?
Exactly.
MSNBC, what do you think that poll's going to show? Come on. Put them all together and you got nothing.
Right.
True.
There's only one day that counts. That's going to be on March 5th in North Carolina. March 5th in North Carolina will be the poll, the one and the only poll. The results will be known that evening. That's the only poll that counts. As Donald Trump found out in 2020. The only poll that counts.
I just will be so glad to see this election you're over with.
Yeah, me too. Well, we're not even on the air yet. You know that?
We're not.
According to the clock on the wall of theirs, something happened to, we just heard a little clip very quickly on Fox News right there. about cell phone outages.
I was going to
There
call
were-
Kelly and see if mine works.
There were some issues apparently across the country yesterday, and I don't know whether they're still there or not. It's interesting. The cell phones just stopped working for a bit.
It works.
That's
It
good.
works. I
She
just
just
called
called
Kelly.
me.
Well, it was weird because, like I said, when I came in this morning, usually it's very dark out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was light out. All of a sudden, it was light.
Because
and-
we didn't have the cloud cover that we've had for the last few days,
Mhm.
and there's a full moon or close to a
Right.
full moon.
And then I
It's
walk
fog.
in and he said, look at the clock and it's 2 hours early. At first I thought I was late.
Okay.
And then I got in and I'm like 2 hours early.
I
said,
was
"This
going
is
back to
already-
bed when I got down here.
This is
Uh-huh.
already starting off strange, but which means it's going to be a good day.
Yeah, maybe so.
When you
We
have a
hope
bad
so.
rehearsal, you have a good show.
Never heard that one before.
Oh, yes.
I've never
Kelly-
heard that either.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I've never been to rehearsal, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, I've
to
been
me.
to a rehearsal, but
We used to say that with our, when we had our dance.
You know that you've been to the state ports, both of you, I'm sure.
Yes.
Right? You know those big old cranes there that
Yes.
they lift the containers off ships?
Yes.
You know where they come from? 80% of them in this country are manufactured in China.
I knew you were going to say China.
The software that controls the cranes also from China. In other words, China has access to 80% of all of the cranes that are at ports in this country, which impact the vast majority of goods that come into this country and leave this country. Is anybody else uncomfortable with that?
We've been talking about that for quite a long time. They've bought out farmland in North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
have big businesses here.
And this is not just the state ports in North Carolina. I'm talking about the ports all over the United States from west to east.
Most everything you buy these days, clothes,
Yes, I know that.
commodity.
But the clothes don't have software embedded in them.
True, true.
Could they launch a cyber attack on this country?
Lord,
Yes, they could.
I agree with that. They could.
China could easily launch a cyber attack. They've been setting this stuff up for
Well, I said they've
decades.
been planning one.
All right, sure.
See, some of these
That's fine.
countries,
Telephone
call-
outages.
some of these countries out there, they don't even know what could be done. Some of these places, China, they don't plan for tomorrow or next year. They plan for decades in the future.
Yeah, we've allowed this. We've allowed this to happen.
They don't
agree with
plan
that.
for an immediate takeover. They don't want to do it. They're not prepared for it, but they can plan for something 20, 30, 40 years in the future because they look at the country's future, not at the current situation. Hey, Tim, what's up?
I just listened to Preach On this morning.
Preach on.
China's going to own the world if somebody don't stop them.
Yep.
But you were talking about the ports, yeah. I mean, Smithfield's owned by China. The whole kit and caboodle,
Yep.
Smithfield's.
Every bit of it.
They bought, every bit of it. Smithfield's, the pork, it used to be Murphy Brown and Carroll's and Browns of Carolina. All of it now is owned by China. I
Yep.
mean, they love pork. Yeah, they can stop you at any time. And it's just like way back before my time, we taught other countries how to grow tobacco, and all we did was cut our own throat.
Yes, we did.
We did. Cut our own throat. Agriculture, we have cut our own throat with that. Technology, we have cut your cars. Guarantee you there's a chip somewhere in your vehicle made in China.
Well, we know that
Cell
because
phones made in China, yeah.
we know what happened when all of those chips got declined when they weren't making them and
Yeah.
producing them. I had a lot of car lots with cars
Yep.
that didn't run.
Yeah, I remember, what was it, 2022. They were wanting me to trade my Dodge in, and I wouldn't do it. And then start with, they said, well, we got $500,000 worth of trucks out there we can't sell.
Yeah,
What's wrong? Well,
'cause it's got no
chips ain't
chip.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'd love to see it. But, and you know about it. Wasn't it during Roosevelt times or Franklin? We were in what was called isolation, where we didn't depend on other countries.
Yep.
And when World War II, we found out that didn't quite work. When we might need to get a little back toward that way. I won't say all the way that way. but we might need to get a little bit toward back that way. And I just, I hate being dependent on other countries for my survival,
Yeah, me too.
because they can turn on you in an instant, and they will.
They
Most
will.
of them hate America.
They will turn on you in an instant, no problem.
Yeah.
No
They
doubt
will.
about
They would love to. But yeah, that was my rant right. But yeah, you're talking about you wasn't on the air. I said, well, you're on Simple Radio. Can't on nowhere else.
it. Well, I was saying we weren't on the air because my clock on the wall up here says it's now 10 minutes after 5.
Good God, you lose power last night?
No, it's not a power. It's an electric clock, but it depends on batteries.
Oh,
It's a full moon.
And it's controlled by GPS. So something went awry in GPS. I'm glad I was not in an airplane.
Ooh.
yeah, I didn't have a problem with cell phones yesterday, but I heard some of them was talking about it. They lost cell phone usage and all that stuff.
Mhm.
I don't know. But no, I just want to holler at you. It's Friday Eve, y'all. Friday Eve.
Friday Eve.
It is that.
That's the first thing. Yeah, it's the first thing St. Diane told me when I made sure she was up this morning. It's Friday Eve, honey.
Yep.
Yes, it is. But yeah, I want to holler Friday Eve this morning. But no, I appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna get off here and let you have your show. I got to haul a little rail today, so we can get these trains running.
There you go.
On time.
Get
Y'all
'em.
be good. If I don't hear from you, have a great weekend.
You too. Talk to you later, Tim.
All right.
Be careful. Be safe out there.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Measles.
Talk about
Here
measles.
we
Making
go.
a comeback.
Start to itching.
Been
again.
dead for several decades now. In 10 states, they've got cases of measles that have been reported.
Wow.
6 cases in Broward County, Florida alone in the school system. North Carolina is not among those 10 states yet.
Very glad to hear that.
Georgia, Florida, and Virginia are the only states south of the Mason-Dixon line with cases of measles. If it gets that far along, you're itching. What do you?
No, I'm just thinking. I had my measles vaccine when I was little.
Might want to check it because I did too, and I have no immunity. It wore off.
It did.
Hmm.
How does it wear off?
Don't know, but it's in me. Might want to check that, Lee.
You need to get a blood transfusion.
And did you know,
Get yourself
they say it's
a
very-
new set of blood.
The doctor said it was very common. People think that
Really?
vaccines, you know how some vaccines you get boosters for.
Uh-huh.
And that's what the doctor said. Said it's way more common than you think of all childhood vaccinations. Might want to get checked. And you know, measles attacks your lungs. Did you
Yes,
know
I
that?
know that,
Okay.
Okay.
but I haven't seen any breakouts or anything.
Same. If you come in here spotted, I'm not walking through the door. Just so you know.
You walk through the door before you ever check me out.
I look at
Where
you
did
from
they
that
start?
hospital.
It's the back, right?
I think so. Yeah. Back and chest.
Back,
yeah.
back and chest. Well, you're not going to see either one of those.
I'll be
when you
like
walk through the
Rayford.
door.
Strip search. Just saying.
Get your jollies any way you want
I'll
to,
tell
right?
you what, the conversation this morning has gone to zero.
It's okay.
A dozen of Jeffrey Epstein's accusers have filed a lawsuit against the U.S. government, claiming that the FBI failed to properly investigate the financier's sex trafficking crimes as far back as the 1990s. Jeffrey Epstein's penchant for teenage girls, they said, was an open secret in the high society of Palm Beach, Florida, and the Upper East Side of Manhattan, which was disregarded by the FBI. Epstein orchestrated an illegal sex trafficking ring for the elite, and the FBI failed to adequately investigate the abuse, failed to interview the victims, failed to investigate the crimes, and did not follow routine procedure or offer victim assistance, notwithstanding credible reports and tips. The lawsuit filed on Wednesday alleges that all 12 women were victimized by Epstein and co-conspirators, unnamed, because of the FBI's alleged past failures, and that current FBI Director Christopher Wray has done nothing to right that wrong. Epstein and unnamed co-conspirators abused young women and underage girls between 1996 and his death in 2019, according to the lawsuit. Citing police documents, he claims that Epstein recruited girls between 14 and 16, as well as students at Palm Beach Community College for sex-tinged sessions. His so-called client list has remained a secret, although a federal judge overseeing a separate lawsuit allowed allegations against a number of wealthy people in his orbit to be unsealed last month, including business leaders, prominent politicians, and Ivy League academics. This, when we get that list, probably a whole lot of people going to head for the hills
Agree with that.
and run away, as they probably should.
Yep.
That'll be an interesting case. We got another caller already, right?
I think it's Bill.
I think it's Bill too. Good morning, Bill. How are you?
No, fine morning. I was calling just ask. I know about, I guess, a year ago there was that big push for the hemp products and the cannabinol, and it made me think just last night that there seemed to be no response from the tobacco industry with them, where they sort of took the same approach of however you make whatever the good part of this hemp is for pills and health, that the tobacco industry would look at that end of it with the leaf they have and say, can you make the redeeming qualities of tobacco into pills, etc. If it's, like this, an anti-anxiety kind of effect that you want, can they do the same thing with tobacco or whatever other things they have, And then it just made me wonder if anybody's heard of them trying to take the same approach. And then another thing was I have a neighbor who's growing some herbal medicines that I guess are common, things that help for different things. And I was thinking how like different stores have like the ginsengs and all that stuff in a thing over by the pharmacies and Band-Aids and all that. But I would think they would sell more, and it's a way if you're trying to make it part of a daily diet, you would blend it in with the foods near maybe the spice racks and stuff in foods. And then also see if there's recipes where you can blend some of the natural herbs into sauces and salads, etc., so that you get the benefits of the natural medicines. I've never seen books on it, never seen any kind of like cookbook that would blend these natural medicines in with your daily diet, And I just wonder if anybody has ever heard of anything like that.
I have not.
I have not.
I have not either, Bill. Good question.
Check into that, though.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm sure
they'd probably do better if they put it over with foods, maybe near a spice, their spices and other kind of thing like that. And if it is to make it part of the daily diets, they'd probably do better doing that. It'll probably get more people's attention to make it part of their daily diets, So, I don't know if they grow it around here. It seemed like she was growing it, and it was growing very well. I was thinking the farmers here, that would be a good thing. And then something they don't make in China is cotton. That'd be, again, part of the best things of going back into shirts and, other undergarments, etc. It's just some trousers in the summer that are just all cotton made in America.
Well, I got some cotton in the other room still on display.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it here, but not in abundance they used to have. And the clothing, industry is polyesters have obviously taken a lot of that.
Yeah.
So,
well, all of that is made with oil, so petroleum products. So, one of these days that's going to be outlawed anyway, according to Biden.
I mean, look at all the petroleum that goes into that that boosts your car costs.
All right. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
Yep,
Anyway,
thank you.
Appreciate
take care.
it.
Have a good
you
day.
too. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME, I think. We'll be right back.
How about Rayford and the crew? It is Rigby's
Get up with Rayford and the crew every weekday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Freedom 97.1 and 11:20 a.m. WSME.
Liberty Mutual presents How to Get Ahead at Work.
It's simple. Just ask for a meeting with your supervisor. While you're discussing the latest sales reports, just slip into the conversation that you customized your home insurance with Liberty Mutual and saved hundreds. Whoa! The business savvy you showed saving hundreds of dollars on home insurance will have you running seminars on saving money in no time.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Based on recent survey of new customers who switched and saved. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. You're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Great Gas and Oil Company, and of course, Wismart and Chappie's Chicken, located at 4111 Gum Branch Road, right here in Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert, has all you need when it comes to convenience for gas, cold beverages, and a great selection for quick pickup essentials. Enjoy fresh, not frozen, delicious meals at Chappie's Chicken, located inside Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert. So if you're in a hurry, get it all. Gas, ice-cold beverages, convenience store items, and delicious, fresh, not frozen, Chappie's Chicken at Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert.
Head out to the Swansboro Area Business Showcase on Saturday, February 24th at the beautiful Swansboro Rotary Civic Center. Doors open at 10 a.m. Admission is free. Check out products and services from area companies. Sample free signature menu items from local restaurants from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. Enjoy entertainment on the big stage from youth organizations and local groups. For more information, log on to swansborochamber.org or call 910-326-1174.
Why vote for Republican candidate Suzanne Long on March 5th? Mrs. Long is a conservative Christian with 30 years of experience in Onslow County Schools, serving as a teacher, principal, director of curriculum and instruction, and executive director of exceptional children's programming. She has the perspective of being a military child, military spouse, and mom of a Jacksonville high school graduate. March 5th, choose a voice for quality public education for children, quality vetted resources and support for staff, and quality commitment to the community. Choose Suzanne Long. Paid for by the committee to elect Suzanne Long for Onslow County Board of Education. In planning for Onslow County's future, finding the right balance between progress and preservation is key. We aim to support growth without sacrificing our agricultural heritage and strong neighborhoods. To make sure we grow responsibly, let's use new taxes wisely. This means tackling challenges like improving essential services, protecting the environment, and ensuring quality education. Tony Padgett stands out as the sole candidate with a unique combination of experience, having served both as a Board of Commissioners chairman and a dedicated employee of Onslow County. A lifelong resident of Onslow County, Tony's unwavering commitment to public service is marked by utmost honor and dedication. He advocates for a streamlined yet robust local government that prioritizes the well-being of Onslow County citizens. Choose Tony Padgett for Onslow Commissioner, a visionary leader planning for our community's future. Paid for by Tony Padgett for Onslow Commissioner.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
And we're back. The season is fast approaching, the boating season I'm talking about. More and more people are shopping for boats these days. Whether you're looking for a fishing boat for the shallow waters of the White Oak and New Rivers, an offshore center console boat perhaps, or a plush, really plush pontoon boat, one that allows you to take family and friends for a sunset cruise, Tideline Marine is where you need to go. If you're looking for fishing supplies, check out the ship store at Tideline. All sorts of lures. They got an entire wall dedicated to nothing but fishing lures. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. That pesky small craft advisory remains in effect through Saturday afternoon. Offshore today, wind's going to be out of the north 5 to 10 knots, becoming southerly late this morning and early afternoon, then switching around to the southwest 10 to 15 knots later today. Seas 5 to 7 feet. Dominant period 10 seconds. Sounds in rivers of light chop, increasing to a moderate chop later this afternoon. Southwesterly winds tomorrow are 20 to 25 knots with gusts to 30, seas 6 to 9 feet, 5 to 6 near shore. Dominant period 6 seconds. Sounds in rivers rough. Northwesterly winds on Saturday 10 to 15 knots, diminishing to 5 to 10 in the afternoon. Finally, seas 4 to 6 feet. Sounds in rivers a moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop in the afternoon.
Today, patchy fog before 8 a.m., and there was some fog out there earlier. Otherwise, mostly sunny, high of 63. We could have gusts as high as 16 miles an hour today. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 51. So a little bit of a warmer night tonight. Still gusty tonight with gusts as high as 15 miles an hour. Tomorrow, showers and then thunderstorms are also possible after 1 o'clock. High of 63, gusts as high as 21 miles an hour, and it's an 80% chance of rain. So it looks like we're definitely going to have some rain tomorrow. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, then becoming clear, low of 41. On Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 59, but the gusts will be back with 15-mile-an-hour gusts. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low of 31, of course. And on Sunday, sunny, high of only 55, though. So kind of nippy.
Yeah. Yep. We have a special guest in the studio.
We do.
Somebody that we met a couple of weeks ago or so. Suzanne Long, running for a seat on the Onslow County Board of Education and a veteran educator in all facets, from school teacher up through the administration.
Yep.
You've been pretty much everywhere there, right?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well. Good morning.
Good morning to you. What kind of words are you hearing these days from people? I know you're going to the polls.
Yes, sir.
And visiting those regularly, hopefully. Anybody talking with you about whatever's on their mind?
Yes, sir. We've seen quite a bit of retired educators.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say surprisingly, but the retired educators, especially who've poured their whole life into serving children, they, of course, are talking about unity, that it's a shame that teachers are somewhat chastising the board to be better role models. And a few of the retired teachers have said that we need to move forward, not a status quo, that there needs to be some changes.
Okay, so changes on the board.
Well, changes toward a positive direction.
Yes. Okay. And I know when we talked before, we talked a little bit about what got you interested in doing this after you retired, and it's all for the kids.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
What kind of changes? I know changes for the positive. Everybody working together instead of pulling at each other's belts and everything else. It would be great. But how can, and I know every Miss America candidate that I've ever seen has wanted world peace. What can actually be done? What is practical that could be done to move forward, to make Onslow County move forward, to get our test scores up, to get the kids coming back to Onslow County after they leave and go to military, to school, or for other employment, or what can be done by the school system to affect a change?
Well, I think first and foremost, I had a former public information officer once say to me, you know, communication is key, that the parents in the community really don't hear you until you're tired of saying it. So, you know, communication is key. I think there's some simple things that can be done. For instance, I know some congressmen and senators, they receive, and I'm just going to make up a number, they say they receive 100 emails a month. Then they send out a blast and say, we responded to 98. These were the top topics, and this is how we responded. I think the community would like to know those type of things. You know, all we see in the board meetings are a slice in time, and I think there needs to be some further communication.
Parental involvement.
Absolutely. You know, parents are a student's core. They're their foundation. Parents are the number one that can evoke change in a student's life.
During the school year, young people are in school for 8 hours a day, typically, or thereabouts, right? That's kind of like a work day. They're supposedly asleep for 8 hours a day, hopefully, or close to it. And so the parents have the kids for another 8 hours, but they have to share them with all of the other interests, from these computers to the TVs to their peers, all of it. The parents don't have much contact with them. The school system does.
That's correct.
Wow. If you look at it like that.
True.
Parents got to do a better job. They got to reach out. They got to make their voices known.
Remind us to your background in education.
Specifically?
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
Like you're a former school teacher?
Yes, I taught first, second, and third grade at Thompson Elementary, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, math and science at Newbridge Middle. I was assistant principal for 2 years, one at elementary, one at middle. I was principal of a middle school for 4 years. I opened up Stateside Elementary, which is a fantastic opportunity to open up a new school. And then I went to the central office where I spent, I think it was 8 years as director of curriculum instruction, and then 1 year as executive director of exceptional children.
Mm-hmm.
I say she's got some experience.
She got the credentials.
She's got good creds. Mm-hmm. Very good.
I know all about her, so I'm.
Well, ask some leading questions.
Okay, I'll ask you a question. Your work as an EC professional, what do you think some of the current needs are of the county's kids within the EC system?
And that's a great question and very multifaceted.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, funding is a shortfall. We have openings in EC positions, which, you know, just hurts my heart because those are the most fragile children in every aspect of the word. And then we have deficits in personnel, shortages of personnel. Not only that, I think students are coming to us with more and more specific needs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, you know, of course, no one wants more taxes, but you know, there are kids with very specific needs that we need additional personnel. Very discrete needs. Some ABA, we have ABA therapists, but additional ABA therapists and other discrete needs.
One thing I have long, and I just want to get your opinion on this. I'm not trying to put you on the spot with this question. But one thing I have long suggested that the county do is build a school. I know everybody hears the word build school and they cringe. That specifically tailors the needs of special needs kids. And I'm not talking just the profound ones, but even some academically gifted kids, or the kids that may have just like ADHD issues, or that do better in that very small EC classroom. I know there are other school systems in the state that have a school like we have, for example, right now Newbridge, which focuses on heavily on science and math. Well, a school like this would be, tailored to special needs kids. It's not meant to segregate at all, but meant to make sure these kids are just as successful as every other kid in the school system. What are your thoughts on a school like that?
Well, I think Greenville recently opened up one. I think that it would fill a niche for some parents and students. Absolutely. I think some parents may not like that.
I think some would think it's segregation, but it's not segregation. It's because the teachers at that school would have to be trained to deal with EC kids. And I'm here to say not every teacher is trained that's currently working with the EC population is trained to do so.
I would agree, because we have shortages.
Correct.
And we know the research on job embedded coaching, how important that is. And a school like that would provide opportunities for job embedded coaching and even training teachers as they went through the pipeline.
Yeah. So I know we have a caller.
We do. Hey, Tim, what's up?
Tim, where'd you go?
He went away.
Okay, Tim,
Okay.
he'll call back.
Yeah, if you got a question that you would like to ask Suzanne, please give us a call, 910-333-0139. You folks are the voters out there. You're going to make these choices. Well, it's ongoing right now. We've had, about 2,500 or so to already vote, Lee, in Onslow County, I think was yesterday.
2140, I think it was.
Something like that.
Yes. It's on our page.
It's really a small percentage.
2140.
That's so far small, but we've still got, several weeks to go.
12 days.
Tim, are you there? Hello.
Hey, I'm here.
I was
There you
thinking
are.
your phone wasn't working, Tim.
It weren't working right. It was crazy. Miss Long, and I can't. You were principal at Trexler Middle School, right?
Yes, sir, I was.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You remember that? I'm making a statement. You remember when one of the students sent their stepdad out there with 2 horses to do some show how horses do movement? Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
Vaguely.
You would think I would remember that.
I am the guy, and they call me the donkey man on this right. And I want to tell you, I've already voted. I voted yesterday, and Chuck, you were number 1 on the list.
Thank you, sir.
You got my vote. You got my endorsement. Let me tell you something, folks. I'm gonna give you a quick rundown on her. It wasn't an act. She actually cared about every student in that school, because I worked around her. She's a fantastic lady. I hated to see her go, but she opened up stateside. And I didn't even know you were on ballot until my wife looked and said, well, Miss Long's running for Board of Education. Who? And she said, so I didn't know your first name. And she schooled me right. Yeah, that's Miss Long. You remember her? Oh, my God, yeah. And you were the first one I put that block in, Chuck. And I just want you to know, I hope you win, because I fell in love with the way you did things. I really did. And I appreciate what you have done for us, for the Onslow County Schools, and I hope you can do more. And I just wanted to say that. I don't have any questions, don't want to take up your time. But I'll let you go. And I appreciate you, girl. I really do. I never forgot you. I just didn't know your first name.
I appreciate you, sir.
Lasting impression.
I will get off the phone. Y'all go ahead and do the interviews.
Thank you.
I love it.
With school teachers, it doesn't matter. Years later, I remember them by Mr. or Mrs. or Miss, and that's it. First names were almost never. I don't remember my teachers' first names. I remember every one of my teachers.
Yes.
But I don't remember their first names, with the exception of 2.
My first grade teacher, I remember her first name.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't think I knew. Well, yeah, my 11th grade literature teacher, but there was a whole reason behind that.
I
but
remember
yeah.
my English teacher at Jacksonville High, Ralph Kroon. Ralph. And then there was Alex. What was Alex's name? He was the biology teacher. Everybody knows Mr. Boyle, Alex Boyle.
Well, see, most kids aren't supposed to know the first names of the teachers.
No.
So,
Yeah, because we always called him Mr. or Mrs.
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
ma'am, and no, sir.
yeah, I mean,
Yes.
so you hopefully would not know their first name.
Yeah, if you didn't, you'd see Mr. Sewell coming down the hall with the paddle.
My only reason I remember
Man
my
scared
first
me.
name, my first grade teacher's name, is she wrote it on the board. She was an odd bird, but she was nice. But
Well, I have a
Yeah.
question from a listener, and I'm hope I'm reading this right on her question. She said, "Being that you're a former teacher, where would your allegiance lie when it comes between matters of the board and the teachers union?"
Well, that's interesting that someone would send that question in. Actually, I was endorsed recently by the NCAEE Onslow section of the teachers, and that's on the Facebook page. You know, teachers are closest to the work. They're closest to students. If we don't have good teachers, then, you know, our students can't grow. Teachers are vital.
I agree with that.
Yep, I do too. And I hope I read what she meant right. I was just a little confused, but it's okay. I think we got out what she was referring to. So, yeah.
Let's take a quick break. And if you've got a question or a comment you would like to ask Ms. Long, please give us a call on 910-333-0139. You're live and local Real Talk. Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME, WSME 971, heard around the world.com.
On the next Goddard's Gold, we're looking at girl groups, and we're hearing them too, with interviews, stories, and music from the Shirelles, the Marvelettes, the Crystals, the Chiffons, the Ronettes, the Dixie Cups, the Shangri-Las, girl groups that don't get a lot of attention, or as much as they should. Next Gold, Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Freedom 97.1 and 1120 a.m. WSME.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the following specials and many, many more at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less. Down home down the street on Main Street in Maysville. And remember to take advantage of Pig Perks where you get 1 point for every dollar you spend on future purchases. How about Sweetheart Steaks, just $10.99 a pound? Boneless ribeye steak is only $10.99 a pound. Boneless chuck roast, $5.79 a pound. 10 pounds or more fresh ground chuck is only $3.99 a pound. Whole Boston butt, just $1.49 a pound. And St. Louis style ribs are $1.99 a pound. And whole chickens are just $1.49 a pound. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store. And they use only the finest and certified Angus beef and Sanderson Farm chicken. Over in produce, you get a 2-pound package of fresh strawberries for just $5.98. Fresh blueberries are only $3.99 a pint. Russet baking potatoes, great with steaks, just 99 cents a pound. A dozen premium rose bouquets, just $27.99 each. Zesty limes are only 49 cents each. Large California lemons, just 69 cents each. And hot jalapeno peppers are just $1.99 a pound. And you also get 3 6-packs of the 16-ounce non-returnable bottles of Pepsi or Mountain Dew for just $11. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less. Down home, down the street, Main Street in Maysville. Remember, say big with the P.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're back. And our guest in the studio is a school board candidate for Onslow County, Suzanne Long. And she's an educator with more than 30 years of experience in all facets of education. We're talking off mic here during the commercial, as we always do, about different things. And something popped up in my mind. Lots of parents want to complain about this and they'll complain about that. We know that police officers, many of them, most of them these days, are wearing body cameras for everything that they do. They got cameras in their patrol cars. There are cameras in the breathalyzer room. There are cameras in the interview room. There are cameras in daycare centers that parents can tune into if they got a kid there. What do you think about cameras in the classroom? There are cameras on buses these days. What about cameras in the classroom?
Well, absolutely cameras on the buses. And that, in my experience, has been valuable in terms of investigating situations because you have to go through due process. I think if the legislation would be agreeable, cameras in the classroom would be vital. I mean, we have them in the hallway, but there's not sound involved. Sometimes that doesn't give you the full context of a situation.
Well, I think sound should be involved.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I think it could prove, as it is with police officers who were very reluctant in the beginning, it's proven to be more beneficial to them than it has to be hurting them. The ones that it hurts probably don't need to be on top.
Correct.
So, and I would think the same thing with school bus drivers, school bus situations, how a driver handles a situation. And it would be eye-opening to parents.
I think it would. Absolutely.
So let's get some cameras in the classroom.
I think as a teacher, it's just like I've said about law enforcement. I would be a law enforcement officer without a body cam. I think teachers need to have cameras in the classroom.
I think so too.
Because I think absolutely for their own protection, but also when that parent utters those words, but my child would never. Look at what your child is doing.
We were talking during the commercial.
Look at how acting.
And we're focused on safety for the school, safety for the students.
Yes.
We need to focus on safety for the teachers too.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think you can learn a whole lot.
I would question why anybody would not want cameras in the classroom. It is not, what kind of violation is it? It's not like it's on public display for everybody to see, but it's protection for the student and the teacher.
Yes, it is. I'm not advocating that parents are able to tune in. And
no.
That just gives you Facebook
That's
material.
Weird. Yes, I agree.
For your kid in a daycare center, yes.
Well,
when you got
different.
your little 4-year-old going
that's hard to communicate or whatever. Absolutely.
Yeah,
but in the school setting, no. I mean, I think it's a safety issue.
Mm-hmm. So, it'd be a very good defense too, as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And probably a good way to evaluate teachers
Exactly.
by the administration.
Yeah.
I would not want it to become a political thing, like making it available to school board members unless a situation arose.
Right. I think there would have
and
to
they
be.
could take a clip of what actually happened for review if it went as far as going to the school board. I agree with
Not
that.
just for trolling. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. That's my
Yes.
personal opinion. What are you kind of feedback are you getting? I know you're getting retired teachers talking with you. What about other people? How about because they make up a minority of the people in Onslow County, of course, voters. How about the typical person on the street?
Well, the typical person on the street that is speaking to me, I think that I'm hearing that they're glad me as an educator is running. A board needs, I want to be clear that I do believe a school board must have a varied membership.
Yes,
it takes a myriad of skills to share community values. But I do think having one or two members on the board that are former educators is valuable. So for the time that I was a school administrator, so we're really talking 20 plus years, we're immersed in school law, we're immersed in board policy, we're immersed in the standards. We know how the DPI works. That people who aren't immersed in that's quite a bit of catch up to answer questions. Not saying it can't be done, because certainly anybody could research, but I think there is value to having someone that has some educational background.
Because you can walk the walk and talk the talk. It helps a lot right up front, because you're going to be involved in everything from school construction. Hello, what's needed in the classroom, what need there are as far as construction is concerned. You might not be able to know whether you don't use 16 penny nails or 8 penny nails, but there are things that you.
Absolutely. Funny story. When we opened up stateside, you have to order everything, furniture, cabinets, you have to organize the keys. I had to organize the keys for that large building. But before the building had occupancy, I went in one of the bathrooms, and funny enough, it didn't come with paper towel holders or toilet paper holders.
Whoops.
I mean, it's things that people just don't really think about.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
That sure brings up a good point. We talk about building schools, but we forget everything that has to go inside
Correct.
before it opens.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Suzanne, thank you.
Thank you.
We do appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. Good luck to you.
And I know 2 votes that you already got, and that would be from Tim and his lovely bride, St. Diane.
Yep.
So you're already on the roll.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
So we get to count votes here this morning. 2 for sure.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be back on the other side. And we got coming up, we've got Mike McHugh going to be joining us. I don't know whether is he coming in or by telephone.
He said he was coming in.
Okay, well, it's kind of foggy down there.
I just heard a horn.
So he sent me a picture.
You think that might be
That
him?
might be him. You never know. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We'll be right back.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Chico's Tires, 2320 Wilmington Highway is Jacksonville's oldest tire company. And now Jacksonville's newest tire company is Little Chico's, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard. Little Chico's carries all the major brands and all sizes, such as Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, and many others. And all new tires have warranty. In addition to a great selection of new tires, Little Chico's has used tires starting at only $30. In addition to new and used tires, Little Chico's does brake service, minor auto and truck repair, expert custom window tinting, and towing. So if you need tires, new or used, brake service, minor auto or truck repair, expert window tinting, or if you need a tow, visit Jacksonville's newest tire store, Little Chico's, 1675 North Marine Boulevard. By phone 910-333-0473 for Little Chico's Tire Service, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard, right here in Jacksonville.
In a season of falling temperatures and rising energy bills, your local Bryant professional is always ready, standing by to protect your home's comfort and defend you from uncomfortable temperatures and the higher energy bills associated with them. Ready to do whatever it takes for your home, your family, and you to be comfortable without breaking the bank. Because when the temperature falls, that's when your local Bryant professional turns up the heat efficiently.
Call Down East Heating and Air Conditioning at 346-4311 and let them keep you comfortable this winter. Down East Heating and Air Conditioning, serving our community for over 25 years. Also, Down East can help you with your home guttering needs. Call Down East today at 346-4311.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
Flatwoods Outfitters of Hubert looks forward to serving you throughout the new year with all your sporting arm needs and personal safety. Located at 111 Second Amendment Lane in Hubert between Jacksonville and Swansboro, Flatwoods Outfitters is Onslow County's oldest sporting and firearm facility. Flatwoods Outfitters has a long gun or pistol in stock to fit your need, whether for hunting or personal safety. Take advantage of their outdoor shooting range to practice or to learn how to safely operate your firearm, which Flatwoods highly recommends. At Flatwoods, you can sight in your scope to be sure of perfect accuracy to bag that trophy. They carry all the major brand names of long guns, shotguns, and pistols, as well as ammunition. If you are interested in a concealed weapon permit, Flatwoods Outfitters can assist with that also. Flatwoods Outfitters, 111 Second Amendment Lane, just off Highway 24 in Hubert, where they aim to preserve our hunting heritage, wildlife, and Constitution.
I am Paul Buchanan, running for re-election as an Onslow County Commissioner. No false promises, just a firm commitment to serve the citizens of this county to the best of my ability. As a county, we face many challenges ahead. Navigating through those challenges requires seasoned, dedicated leadership. Your voice is an important part of the government of this county. I will continue to make sure your voice is heard. I will continue to do my very best to serve all the citizens of Onslow County. My goal is to provide the maximum support, vital services in this county possible. With the realities of the resources available, let us work together to make our county the best it can be. Every election is determined by the people who show up. I ask for your continued support and your vote on Tuesday, March 5th, paid for by the candidate.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want to painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties. Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're back and we're going to get over here to a gentleman here, but I'll bring you up to speed here. Earlier this week, Monday afternoon, about 5:30, a Jeep Cherokee was in Havelock, traveling at a high rate of speed, according to the police there. It hit two vehicles at the intersection of US 70 and McCotter Boulevard. Then it struck a utility pole. Two people dead in that wreck. Another one was airlifted to hospital. Wow. So anyway, right in Havelock. Why? Speed does kill. Why? And I see it every time I get out here on the bypass in Jacksonville. I'm running, speed limit 60. I'm running 60, 59, 60, 61, something like that, generally on cruise control. Get better gas mileage that way. And that way make sure I don't speed up too fast. And there are vehicles that are passing me. And of course, I was radar certified way back when. And we had to get certified, you had to be able to look at a car coming at you or going away from you. And within 2 miles per hour, 5 cars in a row, if you miss one, you got to start over. Tell them what the speed was. These vehicles were running 75, 80 miles an hour. A motorcycle would go by me probably running 85 or 90 on the bypass bridge.
I believe it.
Weaving in and out of traffic.
Yeah.
What kind of idiots are out there? I can count them. I don't have enough fingers and toes to count all of them.
Every day.
But just within 2 to 3 miles, I guarantee you can count 30.
Yeah.
When you said bypass, you just brought to mind, I'll put a public service announcement out there. Candidate signs, political signs are not allowed in the bypass areas here in Jacksonville, in the city.
Plus, you can't see them if you're going 80 miles an hour.
There's been a lot of people like Huff Drive, the bypass there, people putting out signs. So you might want to check the city ordinance on
So
that.
West Huff Drive, which is loaded
Yes.
with signs,
Yes.
is illegal?
Is according to city ordinance.
Citizens arrest, citizens arrest. Let me go pull them all up. I'll sell them back to you later on. Anyway, Michael, how are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. You know, I didn't know you were going to lead with that story out of Havelock, but you know, last night I was looking at that story, and they released the names of the two individuals that were killed. It was a husband and wife, believe it or not. The gentleman is Vladimiris Gersouris, if I can pronounce that right. He's 55 years old, and Ruby Rodriguez, 66. And I read the story, and so being the curious sort I am, I went into some other databases, including the North Carolina court system and the Department of Corrections. And Mr. Gersouris was scheduled for a court date in Carteret County on March 26th. Do you want to guess what the offense was? Rayford?
Speeding?
DWI?
Failure to reduce speed.
Oh my gosh.
And you know, that's pertinent to the story because
Yes, it is.
because what you said about the speed that intersection, which is, if you know Havelock, that's a very congested intersection as you come into Havelock from, I believe, the southern end, coming in from like the Newport area.
Yeah.
But you know, it seems like there was a pattern with this individual in which the way in which he drove. So people just don't learn.
No.
And we had a plea deal in Onslow County Superior
second
Court.
degree murder.
Yeah, of the man from New Bern that was flying down.
Andrew Frazier.
That's right,
Yes.
Andrew Frazier. That was flying down 17. Fled the police and then struck a elderly man, I believe.
84-year-old woman, Lonell Jones. He was actually on Ramsey Road, and the deputy was chasing him. Speeds up to 100 miles an hour, and where Ramsey Road meets Kellum Loop, I mean, it's a stop.
Yes.
You either go right or left, and he plowed through the stop sign right at the time she was coming. Crossing Kellum Loop, and killed her instantly. So he did plead guilty.
He accepted
to
a plea deal.
second-degree
What
murder,
kind
right.
of sentence did he get?
15 to 17 years,
Yes,
I believe.
yes.
Active. And you know, I read the story. I wasn't there for the hearing. I had other obligations, but
6 years.
No, they'll serve the minimum of this that
minimum
sentence
of
nowadays.
13 years with a max of 17.
17.
Yes.
But District Attorney Ernie Lee told the press afterwards that, you know, individual like that, you just merely stop.
Yeah, all he
You
had to
take
do
your-
was stop.
You take your medicine, you know, from the law enforcement, you have your day in court.
Yeah, he
you
was
know?
driving while license revoked to begin with, and they couldn't prove that he was driving while impaired because he ran from the scene.
They didn't catch him for
and
like
they didn't
24
catch
hours.
him till the next
Next
day,
day.
right? I think in
Yep.
New Bern.
I believe so. Yeah.
So it was too late.
And they were
Right.
uncertain how he made it back to New Bern, but
Right.
you know, people have means by which to get back home. But you know, again, that gentleman
All Uber.
could have just taken the
Yes.
ticket, probably, you know, some other charges, and probably walked out the front door of the courthouse. Instead, he's going to cool his heels up in the big house for at least 13 years, maybe 17. And the tragic thing about that whole story is a woman lost her life for
Right, coming back from the grocery store.
Nothing.
for no reason.
Coming
it's
back from the
ridiculous.
grocery store.
It's ridiculous.
Let's go ahead and take a news break. We'll be back on the other side. Mike, we're going to talk to him about a big event coming up this weekend. I've been to many of them there in Swansburg. Live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m., WSME. We'll be right back.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. There are widespread pockets of cell phone outages reported across the country with no word yet what might be causing it.
There was also word that 911 services had apparently crashed in some areas, with several police departments warning people had been unable to call or text for help. Among those reporting problems, customers of Verizon, Consumer Cellular, T-Mobile, and AT&T, which had the largest number of issues reported.
Fox's Lillian Wu. President Biden at a fundraiser in San Francisco calls Russian President Vladimir Putin a crazy SOB. talking about the threat of nuclear conflict.
Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov says it appeared President Biden was trying to look like a Hollywood cowboy, adding such vocabulary debases America itself.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The president has one more campaign reception in California today, wrapping up a 3-day trip. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1
WSME.
It's live and local. Real talk.
Okay, we're back live on Local Real Talk, and I got a real crappy story for you first.
Yeah.
Yep, a real crappy. You know what a crappie is?
It's a fish.
Yeah, a crappie or a crappie. They call them the same fish. This guy in Kansas, he weighed in one that became the record.
Citation.
Until they found 2 pieces of steel in the belly.
Now, did he do that purposely, or did the fish?
Don't know.
Was it a tournament?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was a tournament or not, but
Poor fish.
back April 4th of last year, they awarded him with a new state record after he reeled in a white crappie weighing 4.07 pounds. 5 days after certifying the record, the fisheries folks received a tip from an eyewitness who made claims against the fisherman and whether his catch was valid. The tip stated that the fish had been weighed at separate locations and at one point weighed only 3.73 pounds.
Gained weight.
Yeah, buddy. In an effort to preserve the integrity of the department's state record program, game wardens reached out to Parkhurst for re-examination. The angler voluntarily presented the department with his fish. When the staff used a handheld metal detector, the device detected the presence of metal. Oh my goodness! Why 5 days later would he even still have that
That
fish?
smelled nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
I'm just getting the mental picture of when they put the magnet towards the fish. That scene in Breaking Bad with Jesse. Magnets.
Oh my God, what a mess. Anyway, Mike McHugh, director of the Greater Swansboro Area Chamber of Commerce,
right.
and for those who don't quite understand, that includes parts of Carteret County.
Yep, Carteret, Jacksonville.
And
We're actually in 5 counties. We got 201 members. So for a little area like Swansboro, which is growing,
yes,
it's a very vibrant chamber of commerce. And yeah, we have our showcase coming up this Saturday at the Swansboro Rotary Center. Beautiful facility in Swansboro.
Great place.
Gosh, I think we've been doing this showcase for more than 20 years now. As long as I've been associated with the chamber, both I was at the newspaper as a member and now as a director. So doors open at 10 a.m. Till 3. When you come in, it's free admission. We'll have some door prizes. You'll see about 50 or so exhibitors, including 5 restaurants, which I know that's what you like about the
Absolutely.
part of what you like about the show, Ray.
I like it all. But I used to go around, even when we were there working it, I'd go around and just visit everybody.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to see what was going on.
It's a great show in which to do that. We call it a showcase. And I have to say this off the top because we had great support from the community, including on WASA.
Mm-hmm.
We approached them after our show last year and into this year because we have so many nonprofits in the area that work on, if they even have a budget, they work on very small margins. So we said, hey, if you'd sponsor a community sponsor, nonprofit sponsor, it's a mouthful. They're a nonprofit sponsor for the community showcase. We could allow other small nonprofits to come, and they stepped up and they did. So we have some local nonprofits in the Swansboro area, such as the Swansboro Area Heritage Center, the Friends of the Library. We have a Girl Scouts troop coming in to sell cookies. The Friends of the Hammock and Bear Island are going to be there. So
I would imagine the Coast Guard Auxiliary.
They're going to be there. Carl Rosenberg and the boys will be out there. That's right. They'll be out there. They're great supporters. They've been out there every year. The neat thing about this show is it's not this is not a high pressure sales event at all. It's a community event. And typically what you'll experience is you'll be meeting either the owner of the business or somebody in upper management. So if there is a project or service that you're thinking about for your person or your home, chances are when you talk to that particular business, you're talking to the owner or someone that's going to do the project. So it's nice. As far as the food goes, they're going to hand out free samples from about 11 to 1 kind of over the lunch hour. We have gaffers from Emerald Isle that'll be there. Last year they brought prime rib out. It was nice. And you can make a whole meal. Kelly's salad over
I
here.
told you I was going for the food.
Bamboo Asian House in Swansboro.
always
Oh my
they were
God, that's
good.
delicious. They always bring out my favorite. I think I requested it, the sesame chicken. It melts in your mouth. And I'm not talking about little portions like when you go to like a wine tasting in the valley, in Napa Valley or in Northern Virginia, they give you a little sip. No, this is you can make a meal out of it. El Cerro Taco is a Tex-Mex restaurant in Swansboro. Then Jersey Mike's Subs. They are fantastic supporters of Swansboro. Now they're actually over here in Jayville. They got 2 locations.
Really?
The Provost family, Pat and Beth, they bought the store on Lower Western, right where the bypass is. That was a corporate-owned store. Although it was managed by the same individual for like 20 some years, but it was corporately owned. And then they built out a new location on Yop or Tractor Supply is across from Walmart over there. So they got 4 stores open. And then Mrs. Vinderberg's Sweets, that's desserts and cakes. So they'll be cutting up some cake and handing that out to people that come through. It's a great day. Come on out. It's free admission. And, the neat thing about it, I heard your weather report. I think it's going to be a little wet tomorrow, Friday, but I think Saturday is going to clear.
Looks good.
So you can kind of make a day out east if, you do spend some time at the expo and then venture into Swansboro or into, Carteret County, to the beaches. Because it's starting to get we're getting close to close to beach season.
We got 3 weeks or something till 4 weeks, I guess, right now till spring.
And that rodent up in Pennsylvania saw a shadow, or did not see a shadow. So it's supposed to be earlier spring than. I don't know. I'm digging this.
He's a varmint. I don't trust anything he says.
I'm digging this cool air. I saw your wood pile out there, Rayford. You need some more seasoned wood if that's what you're attempting to burn.
I'm just picking up the stuff that people are throwing away. I've got the seasoned wood back here.
Okay. I can always export some pine from Swansboro. I have ample supply. I
can't do pine.
Well, I do it outside. I burn outside. Yeah, I got hardwood for you. I can do that too.
We get hardwood.
Next time I come here, I'll bring you a little.
I love hardwood.
I know. I love like what you do. I love picking it up on this, where I see it, because that's the easiest. If you ever look at the grocery stores or the C stores, how much those bundles cost. We should go into that business.
I got $50 out there right
easily.
there.
They're like $10 a wrap now, and it's like
it takes me. It's ridiculous. It takes me 20 minutes to burn that much wood.
Yeah.
In the fireplace.
Yeah. But it's how many times do you heat yourself by gathering firewood? You cut it down, that's 1. You hump it out of the woods, that's 2. You split it 3. You stack it 4. You carry it to the house 5, and you finally burn it about a half dozen times.
It's true. That's a good point.
It's a good point. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be a great show. A lot of the vendors that we have there, it's for home and for body. And for mind and soul. So it's pretty much doors open at 10. And we will have, we're actually, oh, that's nice. He's showing, it looks like the WPIX up in New York, the Yule log there. That's beautiful. Theo would know what I'm talking about there. We want to talk about Theo in a second because I have a special invitation for him. We have a performance by the Swansboro Dance Studio around 11 o'clock. So that'll be nice. Cool. Yeah, we have the area in the back of the hall kind of carved out for entertainers. So they did it the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I know Theo in years past has considered coming to the event, but there were some signage and billboards as you enter Swansboro. That property has since been sold, and the signs are no longer there. So it's clear sailing from Richlands all the way into Swansboro.
Hey, good, Theo.
You have to wade through all the political signs, on the highways. But other than that, it's other than having a welcome Theo to Swansboro sign, it's clear sailing.
Maybe the chamber should.
We should work on that. You know where they have those signs that has all of the different nonprofits and organizations like the Leo Club. I was going to say the Theo Club, the Lions.
Yes.
The Rotary, the signs and welcome to. We should put maybe his picture up there. Welcome to Swansboro.
Okay.
If I don't know what the gentleman looks. I've never met him.
Oh,
I know
he's actually been in here.
Yes.
He came in one time.
Yep. We've all been out to dinner.
And we went out to dinner one time. In the borough.
Yeah.
In Swansboro, in fact. And he likes the borough.
Well, maybe perhaps next year we could carve out some space, when the dancers are done dancing, just have like 15, 20 minutes of Theo.
Maybe we could have Theo up there dancing with the dancers.
That would be nice. And bring Tim out in the donkeys.
I see a phone call on the horizon.
And then we, maybe he could, Theo, what size tutu do you wear?
I have one that'll probably fit him.
that would be a lot of fun.
You know, in this day and age, you can't really say anything either. It's like, that's just how that individual's identifying on that particular day.
Any way he wants to.
If you want to, and I'll say that to the general audience here. It's open to the public. However you wish to identify on Saturday from 10 to 3, bring it on. It's free. It's free admission, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's every time I've been there, it's been fun and very enjoyable, very pleasant. And do you have any outside exhibits this time, like the boats or trucks or cars or anything?
There'll be some static display. I mean, we have several booths, one of which is the Onslow County Sheriff's Office. They'll bring one of their vehicles out. We have Crime Stoppers coming out. They'll bring their vehicle out. We have some landscaping. As far as boats go, in years past, we have had, Rayford, you brought a boat out one year. Most of the activity will be inside this year. There are, like I said, some displays outside. If you call the sheriff's office cars, I think they have some new color schemes,
new logos. So that's
perhaps
good.
If the sheriff is listening, maybe bring that ride out. But
Mike, what's the location again?
Location is at the Swansboro Rotary Civic Center. It's off of Main Street Extension. The landmarks when you're in the Swansboro area, there is a traffic light near there. It's where the Speedway and McDonald's are. Once you are in the vicinity, you're going to start seeing. You'll see the signs. I have big.
And then when
out
you
there.
pass it, go ahead and go down and turn around and come back, because that's what I have to do half the time.
Yeah, it kind of is a jug
Sneaks
handle
up
out there.
on you.
It does. But I have large vinyl banners at the Darden Insurance front lawn, so you'll see it there. It's across from Mills and Thomas. So.
Yeah, across from Mills and Thomas, get into the
landmarks.
left lane, and then you get into the turn lane about Mills and Thomas, and get ready.
See, back in the day, you could just say turn left at Mills and Thomas.
Yeah.
That's all that was there.
That was it.
It's it. Yeah, and it was a 2-lane road.
Yes.
Now we're just exploding out. I mean, if you haven't been out, seriously, you haven't been out to Swansboro, much like if you haven't been down to Sneed's Ferry or if you haven't been out to Richlands. These areas, these municipalities, not Sneed's Ferry is not incorporated, but they're exploding. They are exploding.
And I have just been not so nice about the traffic in Swansboro. It's getting as bad as Hampstead.
No, let me tell you this.
Crazy.
There is a development that's been drawn up, and it's now in City Hall or Town Hall for 300 townhomes.
Really?
As you approach Swansboro from Jacksonville,
Right.
just before Team Chevrolet on the right-hand side.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you look at, and that'll probably not as it stands now, but I would imagine as that gets closer to being actually dirt turning up into the town of Swansboro voluntarily,
Wow.
that's going to, population of Swansboro now is about 3,000 residents.
Right.
You put in 300 units with the average occupancy of 3.5.
That's a 10% increase.
33% increase.
That's right. Yeah.
So you're talking about perhaps as many as, when it's all built out, 1,000 additional residents in Swansboro. Think about this. Well, think about the schools, right? Think about the grocery. Think about the traffic, the road out in Corbett. That's going to enter and exit off of Corbett, coming around where Belgrade Swansboro Road is. That traffic light. It's going to go in there, in that field there, where that sign that kept Theo. That sign that kept
Is
Theo. out of
Swansboro prepared to handle all of this?
Well, I think you can look at history, and not necessarily specific to Swansboro, but for those of you who live out in Union County and Charlotte, those counties that abutted Mecklenburg County, all those subdivisions blew up down in Union County.
Yep.
The roads stayed the same. They were 2-lane state roads, but they were inundated before the first person bought their home out. It was crazy. So probably in the short term, no, they're not ready for it. But they're going to have to really, talk about serious issues such as schools, such as roads. I don't know how do you improve, if that's the proper word, 24 through Swansboro. There was talk back in your day about a bypass.
Yeah.
That would have pretty much swung where Belgrade Swansboro is through the communities that are now called River Reach across the White Oak over to Carteret County. I don't think that's feasible anymore today.
Because you have to be a high-rise bridge and start somewhere around
Hubert.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Not far from Hubert.
Yeah.
Belgrade Swansboro cut off. You'd have to build a big bridge like the bypass bridge in Jacksonville. That's what it would have to be.
Or you do what Robert Moses did up in New York City back in the 60s and 50s. He just cut it right through the Bronx Crossway Expressway, and they separated neighborhoods and communities. That's not going to happen anymore.
No.
So I think you got to live and you got to deal with what you got, which is NC 24.
Well, you have more businesses coming. The Wawa.
Wawa's still been, it's coming. It just hasn't shown any. There's still
No progress yet.
Yeah, the parcel in which that's going to sit is where the old ABC store was. And there was a Quick Lube next door to it, Valvoline. They're still there. Nothing's been demoed or anything like that. I did see a few weeks ago the Swansboro Fire Department on the roof of the ABC, and I believe they will be doing some training there, not necessarily burning it to the ground because that building is practically all tile.
Yeah.
But they may do some other types of training on that facility. Going up right now is the Strickland Oil. That's a lube. We're getting a Waffle House.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to ask you the other ones. Waffle House.
Waffle House, the Strickland Oil, and the Starbucks has finally opened.
Right.
And it's like the minute it opened, it was like flies on
a line.
There was a line
I know. Every time I pass on, I go,
yeah. So, but you know what? I mean, we have other establishments that sell coffee and brew like that, and they're fine. But it's amazing how the Starbucks just it opens and they come.
They do.
You build it and they will come.
Absolutely. And well, anyway. Good morning. How are you, Mr. Adorable?
Good morning, deplorables. What's
Talk
going
him
on?
up.
His ears are burning.
Mike.
Sir.
You back in the drama country, huh?
I am. I have to come in here about when I'm invited, but monthly. I enjoy it, Theo. I enjoy it.
And we enjoy
You
it.
got some good news for me, huh?
Yeah, come on out.
Lucky guy.
Come on out. The signs are down.
Huh?
The signs are down in the outlying areas of Swansboro. So it's clear sailing all the way to the Rotary. So I expect to see you there.
I'm going to tell all the Democrats now they can go to Swansboro.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. So
both of them.
Yeah. So call. Hey, just all drive out at the same time in the same car. So,
Right.
A smart car.
Hey, Mike, can I ask you a question?
Yeah. Go ahead.
The mayor, your mayor, right?
John
He's
Davis.
running for
County Commissioner.
right?
Yes, sir.
How long did he was he a mayor over there?
He's in his second term right now. So 7 years. His
How was he?
He's been a great mayor. He's been a great mayor. I'll tell you what, Theo. The days of the politician or let's say mayor of a small town where it was like Mayberry, the gentleman. The last one was Paul Egerton. I mean, Rayford probably knows Paul. Paul's since passed. But he was a gentleman, and it was a gentlemanly like time. Nowadays, it's not like that. I don't care who you have in office. It's snipe. Whew. And I'll say this: we had a mayor prior to John Davis, Scott Chadwick, and Scott Chadwick did a lot of great things for the town of Swansboro. He and the board at the time. But over time, people just you get these factions, groups, whatever, and it gets snipey, and then a new group comes in, and the same thing plays over again. But I have to say that we in the town of Swansboro have been lucky with our elected officials and on the appointed boards. Been fortunate to have people that care about the town. Sure, there's things that people don't like on certain issues, but overall we've been fortunate about that, and we've been very fortunate with our law enforcement in Swansboro, aided by a great sheriff's office. So, I wish the best for John Davis in his pursuit of a seat on the county commissioners board.
Would you hope he
I was surprised. I was surprised that he threw his hat into the ring. When I heard first that he was going to do that, I didn't believe it was true. But we'll see. The way it works, if he fails at the ballot for the race for commissioner, he still has until November, December of 25, and then, the way he can decide whether or not he wants to run. So I'm sure, Theo, when you come out to the expo on Saturday, he'll be there.
Okay, very good. I'm glad you're giving him a plus. So it's possible I might see you Saturday. Okay?
Yeah, and you and I have never met, so I'm going to be running. I'm going to be running around like a chicken with its head cut off. But when I hear that voice, I'll know exactly who it is. All right.
Yeah. Can you talk to Democrats, or you have problems?
No, some of my best friends are Democrats.
All right, very good. So, like I said, I might see you on Saturday.
Yeah.
But thanks for letting me over there.
Yeah, and it's
and the bookends are gone.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Theo. it was because of you years ago. You probably don't even remember this conversation you had on air, but there was an event in Jacksonville, and I forget what it was for. It might have been the Sports Commission. I think it was. They were having some wrestling match, and you were concerned about the safety of the patrons inside there. What if somebody comes in with ill intent? Do you have guards at the event? Do you remember that conversation you had?
Yes,
okay.
I do.
Okay, so I heard you say that, and I thought, you know what? He's right. He's right. So what I did, and this is the Irish in me. I was like, do I pay for security for our future expos, or do I invite the sheriff's office to have a booth at the front door?
See, there you go.
So I reached out to, I think at the time it was Hans Miller.
Probably.
Yeah. And I said, Sheriff, I have an event coming up in February, and I'd love to have you at the booth right by the front door. Can you bring out 2 deputies to meet the public? He said, I would love to do that. Right.
Beautiful.
So he honestly, Theo, that was because of you. And I think you were, I think
good, Mike.
I think you,
that's to protect the public.
well, I think you're absolutely right about that. You know, we have such large gatherings, and, you know, you talk about soft targets. Could have been, you know, not now. It's hardened because we got law enforcement, and then we got Crime Stoppers right next to them. So you know, the 1-2 punch.
So you're Irish? Are you related to the girl next to you?
No, I am not relation. No. She's actually from the old country. I'm about 5 generations removed. We're from Donegal. That's where my people are from.
Very good.
Old horse thieves.
Kelly, you working tomorrow?
Working where?
There.
On the radio?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll talk to you guys soon. Mike, thanks a lot. I
All right, sir.
it.
I'll see you Saturday.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Theo. Let's take a break. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME, and we'll be right back with weather.
Hey, it's Cool Bobby B. Jacksonville, Onslow County, and beyond. You have found the official station for the Doo-Wop Stop. Heard Saturday nights, 7 till 10, right here on Freedom 97.1 WSME, and worldwide at WSME971.com. Join me as we play the absolute best and greatest doo-wop songs of all time. Saturday night, 7 till 10. Get connected now at doowopstop.com.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Head out to the Swansboro Area Business Showcase on Saturday, February 24th at the beautiful Swansboro Rotary Civic Center. Doors open at 10 a.m. Admission is free. Check out products and services from area companies. Sample free signature menu items from local restaurants from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. Enjoy entertainment on the big stage from youth organizations and local groups. For more information, log on to swansborochamber.org or call 910-326-1174.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
This is Robin Knapp, current Vice Chairman of the Board of Commissioners. I'm also a United States Air Force veteran and a retired special agent with NCIS. During the past 8 years, I have never faltered from my stance not to raise taxes or the tax rate, and I voted no the last time we voted on taxes. It is imperative that we continue to strive toward more conservative spending and utilize the funds that we have more efficiently and effectively. Despite our current economic status nationally, we must do everything we can to spend funds wisely, conservatively, and uniquely as we continue to grow as a community. The needs of our citizens and their voices need to be heard because as a commissioner, I represent all of you, regardless of political affiliation, religious beliefs, gender, race, and etc. In the last 8 years, I have shown strong and candid leadership, direction, and fortitude in voicing my opinions and voting without outside influence from others or groups, only voting my conscience and what I feel is best for the citizens and not for me. Please vote for me once again as one of your county commissioners. This message was paid for by the committee to re-elect Robin Knapp.
Hi, my name is Michelle Howdy, and I'm running for a seat on the Onslow County Board of Education. I have lived in Onslow County for over 40 years and have a vested interest in the community and the school system. I want to serve on the Board of Education because I am a firm supporter and believer of public education and wish to work collaboratively with others to support the students, employees of the system, and the community. I believe in developing effective partnerships with all stakeholders to ensure continued success. Together, we can provide the opportunity for an excellent education for all our students. A quality school system is vital to the success of Onslow County. Please use your voice and vote in the upcoming Onslow primary. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you and have a fantastic day. Paid for by the committee to elect Michelle Howley, Board of Education.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Hey, the season is fast approaching for those of you who are looking for a boat. It's the boating season is coming on strong. More and more people are shopping for boats these days, whether you're looking for a fishing boat for the shallow waters of the White Oak and New Rivers, an offshore center console boat, or a really plush pontoon boat made by Aloha that allows you to take your family and friends for a sunset cruise down the river. Tideline Marine is where you need to go and go today. If you're looking for fishing supplies, check out the ship store at Tideline. They've got a wall of lures, not just a few lures scattered here and there. They got a wall of them, and they're recommended by the professional fishing guides who fish these waters. So why waste your money on walleye bait, the big box stores, lures that are going to do you no good whatsoever around these parts? Just go and pick from the wall of lures at Tideline. And you can ask questions there too, because everybody there fishes and they all know the local guides. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. That pesky small craft advisory remains in effect through Saturday afternoon. Today, offshore northerly winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming southerly late this morning and early afternoon. Then they're going to switch around to the southwest later in the day, 10 to 15 knots, seas 5 to 7 feet. 2 to 4 near shore, dominant period 10 seconds. Sounds and rivers, a light chop increasing to a moderate chop later. Friday, southwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots with gusts to 30 knots. Now, 30-knot wind is about 35 miles per hour, y'all. Seas 6 to 9 feet, 5 to 6 near shore, dominant period 6 seconds. Sounds and rivers are very Kelly rough. Saturday, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 5 to 10 in the afternoon. We're diminishing to 5 to 10 knot winds in the afternoon. Seas 4 to 6 feet, 2 to 4 near shore. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop in the afternoon.
Today, mostly sunny, high of 63, with a little bit of gusts, with gusts as high as 16 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 51, with gusts as high as 15 miles an hour. Tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms are possible after 1 p.m. And remember, it's still winter. High of 63. Gusts tomorrow will be as high as 21 miles an hour, so it'll be rainy and gusty. That's kind of yucky. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, then becoming clear. That's a weird statement. Low of 41. And on Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 59.
That's nice, perfect weather for you.
Sunny.
It's nice.
Yeah.
That's absolutely 59 degrees.
A little windy, a little gusty, but I mean, it's not raining and it's not cold.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
do you think we'll get out of this season without any frozen precipitation in this area?
It's a scary thought because I've got photographs of azaleas in bloom during the Azalea Festival and snow on them, light dusting of snow one morning.
That would be March. That would be next month.
That was actually in April.
Ooh.
That's even scarier.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then on
there's-
March 1st, 1980, I think was the year, we had 7 inches of snow.
Really? We're
in Wilmington.
In Wilmington. So that's what, 44 years ago.
A long time ago.
So we're due.
I got
I'm more
photos of
worried-
2 people going down one of the streets there on a sled.
I'm more worried about summertime and what we have ahead of us because they're saying now that El Nino is going to turn back into La Nina,
Yeah, I
which
have
is going to charge up our H season.
well, you know, the water's kind of warm at this time of the year. There's a, and you've all heard of him before, Dr. Bogus. He's been
Yes.
over in Emerald Isle for years. He does water temps every day and he sends them. I'm on his list. The last week, it was 55 in the surf, and it should be 50 this time of the year. So you're talking about a 10% increase.
Well, the thing about that is that means it will be 65, 68 degrees coming up soon. That means earlier in the season for the Spanish to come in.
Okay. You know, I hadn't heard anybody talk about, you would know this, Ray, further, the trout season. Was it a good trout
It's
season
been a
in the
pretty
creeks?
good year, yeah.
I don't hear anybody talk about it, though.
Well, when we had a little cold snap, things cooled off a little bit. Fun. But
not to the point where they were trout sickles out in the
no,
creeks.
no issues with that. They don't have to close it down. They don't have to shut it down or anything like that. They're still catching some trout. Early in the year, or late in the fall and early winter, they were catching some really big trout.
Mhm.
You know, 7 and 8 pounders up here.
My deputy director, Susan Cummings, her husband Bobby's a commercial fisherman when he's not working on the ferries, and he does the White Oak River upriver.
Yeah,
and he was out oystering or clamming, I forget which, and a big pod of dolphin came. This is up the White Oak, and so I thought, well, they're out there, they're not going for clams or oysters, you know, they're probably going for the fish, fins. So
And I saw crossing the New Bridge the other day. It's on the New Bridge on Highway 17.
Okay.
I saw a big pod.
Wow.
Dolphin, but of fish out there.
Oh, really?
It was a bait ball out there.
Wow.
Cutting the water pretty good.
Somebody was after them, huh?
Yeah, something's out after.
That's right. That's near where your shop is.
Yep.
Your tide line.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I've got photographs of dolphin in the past porpoises up in the Northeast Creek.
Wow.
Oh, Southwest Creek.
Okay.
I have a message for you,
3
Mike.
of them.
I have a message for you. Somebody just messaged me and said to tell you that they tried to email your chamber from the website to join, and it came back as undeliverable.
SwansboroChamber.org.
SwansboroChamber.org.
That's our website. But if that person is listening, I apologize. But here's an easy one. Mike at SwansboroChamber.org. O-R-G.
Okay, Mike at SwansboroChamber.org.
So there are no more mics there at the chamber?
No.
You're just
It's me and Susan.
That's all they need is one mic.
We have just 2 employees.
And another listener said, speaking of Swansboro, that the sun sets from 4:45 to 5:15 at the Clyde Phillips Seafood area are the most beautiful.
Yeah, that's spectacular, and
Swansboro.
it's even nice, more dramatic when Clyde Phillips shrimp trawler is
When a
in,
boat's
is
out
in
there.
dock, but a lot of times he's out at sea or in the bays, the sounds. But yeah, that area is it's a perfect sky for it. If you want to get a real taste of the sunsets, there are sunset cruises that go out of Casper's Marina on the Lady Swan boat tours.
Yep.
Tim and Jane Simpson that are the captains on those boats. She's a great photographer. I mean, her Facebook page, you want to check out some, the birds and the marine life in the water out there. It's gorgeous. And she captures it. We've got bald eagles out there. There's a resident bald eagle on the White Oak River, kind of right where Carl Roshberger lives out in that area. And we see it over at Hammocks Beach State Park. I don't know if you guys have talked about Hammocks Beach State Park at all over the last couple of weeks. Have you talked about that? So again, and plugging the showcase, the Friends of the Hammock in Bear Island will be out at the expo showcase on Saturday, and you'll see representatives from the Friends group. But they're having some work done on the island this spring, possibly summer, with the septic system out there that's going to impinge upon the ferries going out to the island. So you may want to keep your ear to the ground or call the park for updates on that. The septic system is in need of replacement / repair. It's antiquated, and because it is an island,
Yes, there are problems.
It's going to be some issues. So they're trying to make it so that they can still do the construction and still allow guests to come out to the island on the state-run ferry. Now, for mariners that are used to using the one end of the island, you can do that. But as far as facilities go, they're going to be shut down. So looking at possibly porta-johns out there. Again, because it's an island, barge them out there. So it may not be the same schedule as it was in years past temporarily, but they're still trying to work that out. They're doing a lot of things are happening at that park. As you enter the park grounds, the building on the right, which is called the Teachers Building, which was there when it was the Black Teachers Association that had that facility. They're refurbishing that, I think, to the tune of, I don't transpose this, $3.1 million renovation project on this historic building. That'll be used as an event building when it's completed this year. And then also they're getting pretty close to the old FFA campgrounds. They've been working on that for probably now in year 2, but they have cabins down there and they'll have overnight camping. They did a lot of utility work. If you're about the Hammocks Beach Road, you'll see a lot of utility work has taken place from FFA Road down to 4-H Camp Road. 4-H Camp Road will be next on the drawing board, but that's a ways away yet. They had to move all the stuff they had for where the teachers building is and the maintenance to allow for construction equipment there. So they moved all their surplus stuff to the 4-H camp. That was beautiful. It is a beautiful property. And I can even recall when we moved into our home adjacent to it in 2001, there was still an active 4-H camp. I think FFA had closed down by then, but there were kids there in the summertime and they were canoeing around the White Oak River. They had a little amphitheater, another great spot to watch sunsets. So it's gorgeous. Yeah. A lot happening out in the Hammocks Beach Road area.
All right, let's pay a couple bills. We'll be right back. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME, worldwide, WSME971.com. We'll be right back.
Hello, this is Rick Dees on the Weekly Top 40 here this weekend. I got a great challenge for you. United Artists and Ultra Bright team up for the Weekly Top 40 Challenge. Stay here. The Weekly Top 40 and some sizzling music this weekend.
The Weekly Top 40 80s edition, Sunday night, 6 to 10 on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery custom design something for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair in addition to their quality and selection of diamonds, diamond fashion bands, pendants, watches, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and paid top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville, open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only cover protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, Solidtech luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. That's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2023 in the flooring covering and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering, they're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering, family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering, you stand on it, we stand behind it. Wismart and Chappie's Chicken. And for over 50 years, Great Gas and Oil Company has kept our community comfortable year-round with quality heating and cooling products and dependable service. In addition to heating and air conditioning service, Great Gas and Oil Company does generators, tankless water heaters, and quality appliance repair. For service, phone 910-347-7138. Locally owned and operated by Jerry and Jeff Allen and Bobby and Louise Williams. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
Meet John Davis, a dedicated leader with a vision for Onslow County. As the mayor of Swansboro for 6 years, John has worked with people to make things happen. Now he's ready to work with you to make improvements in the county we all call home. John's platform is built on the foundations of real change. Your voice is at the center of that change. As a champion for veterans and their families, John will continue to collaborate with local, state, and national leaders to improve the lives of the veterans we love in our communities. Onslow County residents need expanded options for mental health and addiction treatment and family support. John needs your help to bring options for hope and healing to our neighbors, friends, and loved ones in need. Emergency response capability is critical to our county, and John values your input as efforts continue to ensure the safety and well-being of every resident. John is a champion for economic development and job creation. You know the jobs we need, and he wants to bring them here. Let's strive to build a thriving, prosperous community for all. Together, we can build a brighter future for Onslow County. Vote John Davis for Onslow County Commissioner. Leadership, vision, and commitment for a better tomorrow.
Paid for by the committee to elect John Davis.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
And we're back. Mike McHugh from Swansboro Chamber of Commerce is still with us this morning. Lots going on in Swansboro, lots of construction. I know that. Wow. And when are you going to take over and annex Hubert?
We're not going to, it's not in the cards. They can't do involuntary annexation.
No, I know
here.
that.
But I'll tell you what, Rayford, you kind of swerve into a topic. Let's talk about not only Hubert, but the Sneads Ferry area down there.
Yeah.
So you have the massive Camp Lejeune, then you have Holly Ridge Incorporated, and then you have that whole area remaining.
And the people have tried.
They tried.
And they failed every time. They want to keep the ferry as the ferry.
Yeah, I think about maybe 15 years ago, there was a movement.
Big movement.
Yeah, and I remember seeing the signs. It was like NIP. NIP Incorporation.
Yep.
Or something or other. But I'll tell you what, that community and the Hubert area.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you drive out to even in the Bear Creek area, which when you were growing up, that was the wilderness, right?
It
that was the
was.
frontier.
It was.
And now it's just we were driving over there just the other day, and just a massive amount of townhomes going up at that curve on Queens Creek Road. Once you pass the Odom scrapyard and you're going towards, you're going to turn left. The road bends left towards Sandridge.
There used to be an oyster roast at the end of the road there, Queens Creek Road. I forgot what. Maybe it was called Queens Creek Oyster Roast. I don't know.
Well, there's a Queens Creek seafood company at Queens Creek before the bridge.
Okay,
maybe you think
this was right down on the real. I don't know. I back down there. I haven't been there in years, probably several decades.
Yeah, well, there's been a couple. I mean, there's a bar that was Gator's Den on Queens Creek. That was John D. Smallwood's bar. Remember John D. Smallwood?
I remember
one of our cold cases in Onslow County. That was Gator's Den.
Yes,
it's still there as a tavern. There used to be a steak and brew house. Remember that?
I remember that.
Gosh, what was that gentleman's name? He passed.
I don't think I've ever. I don't believe I went to it.
No. Yeah, well, you weren't from there.
Yeah.
That's it was. I mean, before this county just exploded, way before I arrived. I mean, that was kind of that little, it was a close knit community. Let's just call it that. Well, as many of these little towns or areas were close knit with their own folks.
Yes, and I travel to Swansboro to go out to eat. I got 2 restaurants there that I like to go to, and I'm sure there are plenty of others.
Yeah,
I've been to a lot of them, but of course there's the Borough,
right,
and there's El Cena.
That's right, owned by the same family,
yes,
the
same family,
Swansons.
but I get, when I get in the mood for Italian, I don't try. You know, I cannot. You used to have a good Italian restaurant in Jacksonville, Paisano's.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And we had the Brooklyn Spaghetti House here decades ago,
Yes.
which that was my favorite. But you know, we got chains.
Well, over in Carteret County, it was was it Regazzi's on 58 down
Regazzi's,
from Earl Taylor's TW Oyster.
Mhm.
Yep. That was there for years. That's now the town hall of Pelletier.
Is it?
It's Pelletier's town hall. It was Regazzi's restaurant. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you know, that's the thing with Swansboro. You have the mom and pop restaurants, you know, like Randy and Nancy Swanson run those two. And like you said, there's others in Swansboro, and then there's the chains in Jacksonville. Nothing against the chains, you know.
They serve a purpose,
Sure.
because people come here, Marines, from all over.
That's right.
And they want to go something they know about.
Yep, that's right.
And until they stay here for a while, they don't sample the locals.
No, that's right. I mean, a chain in San Diego and a chain on Western is pretty much the same.
They got the same food.
Same food, yeah, and the same menu. So you have your choices. That's nice. That's good for the for the consumer. So
Well, here's a question for you. I know Swansboro, the town, has received $9 million already for the new EOC center.
Can I borrow some?
What's the update on that? Have they found property yet to break for that?
to answer your last question, no, there's no official land yet.
Right.
But they are discussing it. So it's
Okay,
But the
good.
clock's ticking on that. That's been, I think we're in year 2 of that, at least year 2 of the funds having been procured from the state. And then Swansboro.
Right. Well, will the 9 million cover the purchase of?
Not now.
So that's going to be another
Yeah.
expense in order to put it out. And have they decided yet on the building itself? As far as, do they have drawings? Is that all set to go?
No.
Oh my goodness.
It's a slow go.
Yeah.
It's a slow go, and then
You're going to lose that money.
Well, you know, that's up to the
I
new,
hope
the new
not.
board. And that's the other thing too. You have a new board, practically a new board. You have three new elected commissioners, and just recently, one of the sitting commissioners, Larry Philpott, resigned.
Right.
So you have a vacancy.
So what are you going to do about that?
Are you going to
vacancy
put
on
in
the-
for that?
I can't. I don't live in the town limits.
Oh,
So
okay.
like President Johnson said, if nominated, I will not run. If elected, I will not serve. I can't do either. And I'm glad for that.
Any
there's-
gossip yet on who might get it?
Is there any gossip? Lee? What do you think?
Tell us. We won't tell. We
there's
won't
always
tell,
there's
will we?
always rumors and innuendos. Of
What kind of
who-
names?
Well, how's it going to be? How's it going to be selected?
Well, it goes to the board. They can do several things. They have, they
can do
they can
nothing.
they can do nothing, let it sit vacant.
Mm-hmm.
They can wait till the next election cycle comes, fill it, or they can fill it with somebody. That happened years ago when it was Angela Clinton. She was elected, and then shortly thereafter, she resigned, and they brought back Phil Keegi, who was he's from Swansboro. Not well, I guess born and raised there practically as a kid. I think he came from Beaufort when he was 7. Anyway, he's about your age, Rafe. He works at Dudley's. So he came back and sat out the term for Angela. So they can do that. Looking down the road as far as Theo invoked Mayor Davis running for commissioner. Should he win a commissioner seat, you can't hold 2 elected positions, so he would have to forfeit the mayoral seat. Again, what do you do there? You have a mayor pro tem and Bill Justice. He could elevate to that seat, or like you said, leave it vacant. So there's open seats right now on the elected board in Swansboro. So back to your point, what are they doing with this EOC? It's kind of like, okay, now you got this new group in here. And many of them campaigned on, let's move forward on this. Let's move dirt, I think was what Doug Eckendorf said in his campaigning. And we've been sitting on this. And I think just recently, within the last couple months, they put it in some sort of true interest-bearing account. It had just been sitting there.
Really?
We're talking about CD rates that I can get at 5.5%. When that money was just sitting there.
Well, that might be enough by the time they get around to building it.
Well, they're going to still need. They're going to a couple zeros behind that, but it's great that they, Mayor Davis went out. He met up at legislator days up in Raleigh, and that's when the initial $6 million came after his conversation with Representative Cleveland. That caused some heartburn in the borough, but the money came back to the borough, and then another $3 million came. So. They're sitting on money, but the way in which they're going to have to build this, they got to think logistically too, because where the current public safety building is now, it's kind of like their back
right.
is to the border of the town, i.e. the White Oak River. The expansion and the growth in our area and in their fire district is out towards
Hubert.
Yeah, out towards Hubert, right, out towards that area of the town. So you have you have arteries such as Corbett and C-24. You have Queens Creek Road, and any of you know, and again, Lee, you drive through that area, and the traffic is just thick most of the time, but especially when schools starting or entering or leaving for the day at that where the Burger King is, Queens Creek Road.
It's hard to get out of a parking lot.
Tough. It's tough. And it's not because Walmart's there. I mean, driving in this morning, it was thick going through Swansboro all the way over to Piney Green.
Right.
We have this thing called the bases, and you get a lot of that traffic, and a lot of those our base employees maybe live in the Havelock or in Carteret County for that matter, and they drive through. So
let's take a final break. You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1 1120 AM WSME. We'll be right back.
Freedom 97.1.
If you plan to rebuild, remodel, repair, or do cottage or home improvements, Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City, should be your first stop. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies, along with Gerber, Buck, and Case knives. Williams Hardware is your helpful, handy hardware store. Williams Hardware cuts glass to size and cuts and threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington grill from Williams Hardware. Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City. Open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 till 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you customize your home and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own home policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Call today, 910-326-5383. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Check your mailbox today for savings on your homeowner's insurance.
If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team, serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vented cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax, we're on the way.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're wrapping up this day, this Thursday, and Mike McHugh in the studio with us from the director of the Chamber of Commerce in Swansboro. And we didn't get a call from Chris Rayner this morning. Chris Miller this morning. It's not Miller time anymore. And no, he's not out to lunch.
It's the phones, man.
He's got an AT&T, Verizon, and some other services are dead in the water.
Yeah,
across the
So
country.
he sent emails, and I just checked, and there it was. Like, I tried texting, I tried calling.
That's right.
We knew something was wrong.
You want to take out this country, kill the cell phones.
Absolutely.
You remember how that was?
Yes, I do.
You remember how that was after Florence, Hurricane Florence, and the people would be like hanging out underneath one of the hot towers.
Like this.
There was one by the Moose Lodge on Norris Road in Swansboro.
Well,
There was
let me give you all a little bit of a hint as well. During an emergency, such as a hurricane, the cell services, they cut half of their services immediately. Why? Because they devote it to emergency communications for the emergency services, like fire departments, police departments, EMS, all that sort of good stuff. They keep it open for that,
right?
For half of them. Because we all know that if during a hurricane, you got nothing else to do with your life. You sit there on the phone, you call Aunt Mary that you haven't talked to in 40 years, and you'll talk for an hour.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
We'll see what Chris Miller should have done is gone to his father's house, got on the ham radio and called you on the
He
ham
could have done
radio, and
that.
you could have hooked him up.
Yeah, he could have done that.
You know, you didn't think, Chris.
He could have come on over here.
He could have come in the studio.
We're closer than his daddy is.
Yeah, that's true. He could have come in the studio. So, yeah, I sent you a text this morning, Rayford, a picture of the fog in Swansboro when you guys were doing the weather, and
Are we back off the air?
it took about, I hope not, about to throw a pearl out here.
Why?
Okay, I just couldn't hear anything all of a sudden.
Because you don't have your
No, but
headphones on.
normally I could hear it. You must have turned it way down.
But that
It's
that text took
9
about 5 miles as I was driving.
go
Not that I was
follow
texting
me.
and driving, mind you, but it took more than 5 minutes for that to reach, which is unusual. So hopefully they can remedy that problem.
I'm sure they will get around to it. Coming up tomorrow, we have, from Onwassa, we got Frankie Howard, and also we got Royce Bennett.
Right.
They're going to be in here, and we're talking about water.
Very good.
And everything else.
I think I'll call in just to say thank you to Mr. Howard for
That would be
being
good.
our nonprofit community sponsor for our showcase this Saturday, 10 to 3 at the
Nice.
Swansboro Road. Nice how that all comes together.
It
I
worked out
didn't
well,
realize
didn't
until I
it?
saw the whiteboard there. Frankie Howard. So they got
Yeah.
they have good management at our water authority. And I know
Absolutely.
And then Royce sits there too as an elected official representing.
Maybe they can dispel the
County.
rumors I understand that are going around for
I saw
Sneeze
that.
Ferry about oil in the ground or something.
Yeah, I saw that post
Tainting
last
the
night,
water?
and Royce did correct that
Yes,
individual as far
yes.
as the amount of
Like,
testing
how did that get
Onwassa does.
started?
It's social media.
Well,
It's
if-
the tail wagging the dog, Lee.
Now, if we can find some oil deposits, maybe on my property, I'll be happy with that too.
I think that's what Commissioner Bennett said. As far as I understand, there's no. I think he was going to say
Come dig in
derricks
my yard.
in Onslow
Did
County.
you know that back in the 60s, they had several up in the the side, Hubert area. There were several people drilling for oil, doing tests up there,
Really?
and trying to sell leases to people.
Could you imagine if someone did strike oil in Hubert in the 60s? I mean, you talk about the Beverly Hillbillies. I mean, that would have been
yes.
old Jed's out, shooting at some food.
Yeah,
And up through the ground came a bubbling
Bubbling
crude.
Michael, thank you. Good
Thank
luck
you,
on
guys.
Saturday.
As always,
You're not
thank
going to
you.
need it, but it's
Well-
going to be a great event.
We appreciate the promotion that this station has given us and the support. So thank you.
Always.
And come on out. Free admission.
Yep.
The good 4-letter word,
And
free.
if I wasn't working Saturday, I would be there.
I'm coming.
I'm going to
Yeah,
see Lee
she's-
there. I'm
she's
going
gonna
to see Theo for the first time.
And
I'm
then
coming.
when you know what Theo looks like, so you can
Oh, yeah, I
introduce
know
them.
Theo.
So
Yeah,
Right there,
yeah.
right there. It's just a picture on
there
the
you
wall.
go. There.
That's his
And then
name.
you can bring back a takeout box.
Sure, maybe
Uh-huh.
I can tell
Get some
you.
Gaffer's roast beef. Get
Yeah,
some
I'm
Sarah's
so
tacos.
hungry right now
Oh,
just
I
thinking
am
about
too.
it.
Mrs. Vinderberg
All right.
Sweets. Good stuff.
Michael,
Good stuff.
thank you.
Thank
Have
you,
a
guys.
good one.
Thanks.
And Kelly's already left. Lee, see you in the morning. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME, and we'll be right back.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246 CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. President Biden is considering executive action to restrict asylum claims at the border.
White House spokesman telling Fox News no executive action, no matter how aggressive, can deliver the significant policy reforms and additional resources Congress can provide and that Republicans